Playa del Carmen is famous for the migratory bull sharks that arrive each year in December and remain in the area until March when they migrate north. The name bull shark comes from the shark's stocky shape, broad, flat snout, and aggressive, unpredictable behavior. Bull sharks are responsible for more documented attacks on people than any other shark. They are considered extremely dangerous animals. This is the extreme scuba diving experience for certified divers who want to experience one of the most thrilling dives in the world. The bulls are drawn to the area around Playa because of the freshwater cenotes that pump out into the sea along the coast. The exit points for these cenotes are too small for a shark to pass through, but the constant flow of fresh water leaving the cenotes exits draws them, as well as an abundant food supply of fish, into the area. Playa del Carmen is also known for its large turtle population, which is a food source for the bull sharks. The first thing observed is the way the sharks move. The bulls move so differently, there's just an intense raw energy with these sharks, and you can feel it. They move with purpose, and they have an agenda, which is finding scraps of food. After prepping for our entry, we dropped in for our first dive of the day. We had been warned about the currents, and we moved with them, while descending towards the sand 65 feet below the surface. When we hit 20 feet, we started scanning the bottom for signs of life. We didn't have to look very long. 4 bulls were swimming below, patrolling the area, following us to find out where we were going to stop. We hit the sand and started looking around to count sharks. Without trying hard, we were able to count 10 bulls. The reality of this place had not totally sunk in. All the sharks were females, some with old mating scars, and some that had swollen bellies. We dropped in for our second dive with a 5-gallon bucket filled with leftover fish parts. The dive master that feeds the bulls is suited up in a stainless steel shark suit. Masses of fish accumulate around the dive master with the fish barrel. Once the bulls figure out the divers are not a threat, all timidness disappears and the feast begins. They have a voracious appetite until all of the fish are gone. The bulls knew that something was different about this dive, and were moving around a lot faster, coming in closer and keeping a close eye on us. These are smart sharks and understand the difference between the two dives, and they behave differently because of it. They understood the first dive was simply a swim around, so they were more relaxed and not as worked up hanging around the bait barrel. This second dive, however, they were much more amped up because they knew they were going to be fed. It is impressive, scary, and humbling when you have these large predatory sharks within inches of your frail body, knowing their notorious behavior when they get worked up or confused. I have such a deep respect for all sharks and their lethal capabilities, but bulls just make you so much more respectful and mindful of where you are and what you are doing. Once the feeding started, everything went epic. The bulls were pretty good at grabbing the bait, but every once in a while, a remora or cobia would fly in, snatch it up, and try to swim off with it. Of course, it would then get chased down by the other small fish hanging around, and the tug of war would begin. The bulls knew that a piece of bait was floating around and would begin to spin in tight circles trying to find the bait before it got gobbled up. The bulls kick up the loose sand and cloud up everything in their area, making it hard to film and even harder to see the sharks scrambling around looking for bait. As we ascend back to the surface and prepare for our safety stop, the bulls follow us to the surface, having lost all fear of us. As we continue to ascend, there are feelings of excitement, fear, and anxiety. The adrenaline level is high, and you can feel your heart beating. This is truly a remarkable experience. The bull shark is commonly found worldwide in coastal areas of warm oceans, in rivers and lakes, and occasionally salt and freshwater streams if they are deep enough. In the Atlantic, it is found from Massachusetts to southern Brazil, and from Morocco to Angola. In the Indian Ocean, it is found from South Africa to Kenya, India, and Vietnam to Australia. Populations of bull sharks are also found in several major rivers, with more than 500 bull sharks thought to be living in the Brisbane River. In the Pacific Ocean, it can be found from Baja California to Ecuador. The shark has traveled 4,000 kilometers up the Amazon River to Iquitos in Peru. It can live in water with a high salt content and is generally prolific in the warm coastal waters. The species has a distinct preference for warm currents. Bull sharks are large and stout, with females being larger than males. While a size of 3.5 meters is commonly reported, with the maximum recorded weight of a bull shark of 315 kilograms, bull sharks are wider and heavier than other sharks of comparable length, and have a bite force of up to 600 kilograms, pound for pound, the highest among all investigated cartilaginous fishes. Bull sharks are able to regulate themselves to live in either fresh water or salt water. It is possible for the bull shark to live in fresh water for its entire life, but it has been observed that this does not happen for certain reasons, mostly due to reproduction. Young bull sharks will leave the brackish water in which they are born and move out into the sea in order to breed with bull sharks of the other sex. The driving factor for a bull shark to be in freshwater or salt water is its age. As the bull shark ages, the tolerance for very low or high salinity increases. It was found that the majority of the newborn or very young bull sharks were found in the freshwater area, whereas the much older bull sharks were found to be in the saltwater, as they had developed a much better tolerance for the salinity. This is one of the reasons why adult bull sharks will travel into the river in order to reproduce. The newborns are not born with a high tolerance for high salinity, so they are born in freshwater and stay there until they are able to travel out. Bull sharks mate during late summer and early autumn, often in the brackish water of river mouths. After gestating for 12 months, a bull shark may give birth to 4 to 10 live young. They are viviparous. They are born live and free swimming. Coastal lagoons, river mouths, and other low salinity estuaries are common nursery habitats. The young bull sharks are free from predators while they grow up in the river before they go out to sea in order to find mates. Because the majority of sharks are only able to survive in salt water, the bull shark has evolved to have their offspring in the freshwater where other sharks cannot enter. Freshwater acts as a protective area where the young are able to grow and mature without threat of larger sharks preying on the younger bull sharks. Since bull sharks often dwell in the very shallow waters, they may be more dangerous to humans than any other species of shark, and along with the tiger shark, oceanic white-tip, and great white shark, are among the 4 shark species most likely to attack humans. One or several bull sharks may have been responsible for the Jersey Shore shark attacks of 1916, which were the inspiration for Peter Benchley's novel Jaws. At the time, the sensationalism was that great white sharks were responsible for the attacks. The speculation of bull sharks possibly being responsible is based on some attacks occurring in brackish and freshwater, with some of the attacks occurring 10 miles up the Matawan Creek from the ocean.